Not every vehicle can fit a double din stereo, meaning those of you who are stuck with single dins but want a large screen display have to get a head unit with a motorized display, like the Soundstream PDN-721HB, which is a 7-inch single din DVD GPS motorized stereo with Android phone mirroring and costs under $200. Find out if it's worth taking a flyer on and stay tuned for our audio performance testing in a minute. Inside the box is a warranty card, instruction manual, navigation manual, wireless remote control, wiring harness, GPS antenna, mounting tools, and 7-inch motorized single din stereo. The rear connections include GPS antenna, video outputs, backup camera, RCA preamp outputs for front, rear, and subwoofer, wiring harness for power ground and speaker, plus pigtails for radio antenna, and subwoofer RCA preamp outputs. When closed, this head unit operates as any single din stereo. You can play your music from all audio sources with no issues. The front faceplate is detachable and reveals the SD card slot for audio and video playback. To open the display, press the open button. You also will be able to use the same button to adjust the tilt angle, and holding it will close the display. The 7-inch screen is unfortunately not HD and has a resolution of 800 by 480, kinda weak. And the resistance on the screen was not that great either, even after the touch correction. You need to give the screen a firm tap. I sometimes had to even use my thumb. Despite the resolution not being HD, video playback still looks pretty good and DVDs look solid. The overall operating system is a little slow and the source layout of the stereo isn't the best I've ever seen, but it's vibrant and sharp. The best feature of this stereo is Android Phone Link. However, it is flawed. By connecting an MHL Android device to the USB port, you can mirror link your device to the display with Android Phone Link. Simply enable USB debugging in the phone settings. Phone Link will not work with newer USB-C based devices, just older micro USB MHL compatible phones. The benefit of the Android Phone Link is that commands can be done from the stereo. This is a little disappointing. Who uses MHL any longer? If you don't have an MHL device, don't worry, you can mirror any kind of phone on this you want. Through the backup camera input, in conjunction with the QMV HDMI V2, you can mirror anything to the display. You must also use a digital AV adapter for iPhone and BU CHDMI 6 for Android. We have extensive videos on mirroring. Links are in the bio for everything. The PDN-721HB features built-in iGo Primo GPS navigation. Personally, I would get a radio with CarPlay so I could use Google Maps, but you can't get that for under $200 like this stereo. The PDN has Bluetooth V4.0 for phone calls and music playback. However, the Bluetooth music source is very plain and has no music tags, and in order to access it, you have to select Bluetooth, then select the music icon. It doesn't have its own music source. Bluetooth is the only way to play back music from your phone. You can't connect with a USB cable to play music, but the front USB port will charge your phone quickly with 2 amp 5 volt fast charging. CDs, USB thumb drives, and SD cards can play back MP3 files. The unit supports up to 64 GB USB thumb drives and SD cards. For display customization, you get 3 boring preset wallpapers to choose from. The head unit features built-in steering wheel control connections and lets you customize your preset commands. You get full control over the audio. Alright, let's test this thing out. The first test we ran was 2 channels driven at 4 ohms, 14.4 volts, 1 kHz EQ flat. Our audio precision will generate our signal and measure distortion. At volume 36, our HP8903B audio analyzer picked up 18.19 watts RMS, 0.54% distortion, and 8.47 volts of output. We can swap between channels. Our AMM1 read 13 watts RMS. We got 8.48 volts on the Lumi, and we drew 4.91 amps of current. Down to 40 Hz, volume 36, our HP picked up 17.56 watts RMS, 0.4% distortion, and 8.3 volts of output. Channel swap. Our AMM1 read 15 watts RMS, 8.35 volts on the Lumi, and we drew 5 amps of current. Next, we tested the RCA preamp outputs at 1 kHz full volume 40. We got 2.3 volts with 0.97% distortion. At 40 Hz full volume 40, we got 2 volts with 0.5% distortion. Our final test was frequency response. We used our audio precision to run up each frequency. Now remember, this stereo is cheap as hell and has some pretty cool features despite that. Don't expect the fastest or best looking stereo in the world if you buy this. But if you want to take a flyer for under $200 with a large screen on a singleton head unit as your main need, this is a solid option. Visit qualitymobilevideo.com to get all of your car audio and video gear with us today. Links for everything in the bio below. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and click that like button, but if you hate it, click the dislike button. Join the conversation below and subscribe to our channel if you're new. Thanks for watching.